we must realize, of course, that we are equipped inside our heads with an absolutely fantastic thing called the brain. You have within you the most amazing logical analyzer that exists in the known world. And the point is to get it to work for you.
So here it is, the first shop, the first shredded order. And I thought it deserved an old school, Z's-esque shredded vest. And you know it's Z's-esque when there's no nipple protection. Zero nipple protection. And don't worry about this, not a pacemaker. Microphone, Bluetooth microphone is good, very good. I get you a good price, it's very good. As you can see, we have neatly laid everything out in a nice order. So we're gonna take a look at meats, carbs, and then other shit. Do it, lift camera, make sexy with the meat. Sexy meat, sexy. You know why it's sexy?
Why?
It's a breast. Okay, so this is the meat section. If you have a look around, there is an array. We've got the white meats to the red meats to the fishes to some pre-packed stuff. So let's take a quick look and break them down. Let's start with everybody's old favorite, chicken breast. Now, this is supermarket bought chicken breast, not ideal. I would actually probably switch up, if it's cost effective, to a butcher if possible, but we'll see how much water comes off these when we cook them. Per 100 grams, 27 to 30 grams of protein cooked. Just say that before we start actually. Everything that you're gonna do, you always weigh it cooked. Best way, because we never know how much water is gonna be in them. Now remember, I'm doing a high fat approach to this, which means fats are my dominant source of calories in this diet, which means two things. One, we can go for the 7% turkey mince, and two, the 20% beef mince. Two reasons this is good. Tasty, more fat. Don't go to the steakhouse and order a fillet. Order the rump, it is good. This is why it's good, this is why we like butt. In everyday life, you look at butt, you go, it's good butt. Same with food. I don't know why I'm doing that, boy. It's like it removes me from the insult or the dodginess. Yeah, it's to do with the voice, it's the Borat. Oh, third thing, is cheaper. It is. If you don't buy the super lean stuff that tastes like crap anyway, this stuff actually comes in at quite a cost effective. The reason I like the mint stuff, chilies, mass cooking, prep, everything about eating to a schedule and to consistency, prep. So the more that you can cook in once of something that you're going to be able to eat a lot of consistently, the better. Chilies, turkey breast sucks. Turkey mince takes the flavour much better, and you can keep it. No Japanese win. Super smiley. So many Karens. I can hear the keyboard. It holds the flavour better, it's real cheap, it's cost effective. Turkey mince, look into it. You can actually buy it frozen as well, so if you're running out of space, you can buy it from places like Iceland. I don't know if Americans have that, but frozen foodie places, loads of it available. On the turkey front, I've got the same thing in two different packets. Reason, this one, mass batch cook. 750 grams in one packet, works out a little bit cheaper. I'll make a whole chili out of that. 500 grams, so less servings, but it means I can use something that maybe I won't be able to eat as consistently because the flavour will be a bit more potent or whatever. So it just gives you that option. Free range. Free range. Don't be buying the cage shit. Do not be doing it. It's just no. If you're gonna eat the meats, at least be, sensible about it. Eggs. Now, I'm gonna be eating the yellows, which means I'm not going to be taking the whites out and just chucking the yellows away. One, it's a waste, and two, good cholesterol, good fats. So for me, it's worthwhile buying the whole eggs. If you're on a low fat, higher carb approach, maybe opt for those egg whites just for the fact of convenience. Have a look around though, because the price differences are huge. Ooh. That's too quick for you. I'll go slow. You ready? I'll slow-mo it. Slow-mo it. Prime smoked salmon. Now, is this cost effective? No, it's not. Is it delicious though? Yes. Yes, it is. And it's great to just put a small amount on your eggs for the enjoyment factor. A little bit of lemon, a little bit of pepper, a little bit of that pre-smoked delicious salmon. Actually, it was on offer, and it's often quite on offer. Just use about 30 grams, put that over your eggs, because you can get that protein, especially with boosting it if you're going high fat like I am with the yellows, which I will be doing. A little bit of salmon on the top. Lovely. Lovely. Side note, good oils, omega fatty acids in those oily fish. So again, if you're on a high fat diet, that's gonna be great for your skin. It's also gonna keep you more satiated, and it tastes good. Prepackaged meat. Now, is this optimal? Cost effective, it can be. Have to hunt around, always buy them in mass. Breaded Carvery ham slices. So this is ham slices. Now this is gonna split the room. This is gonna split the room. So obviously you can get chicken slices, ham slices, human slices, if you shop at the right places.
A long pick.
Did we already make the joke about you cooking babies?
No,
there's a previous video. If you missed the previous video, so much worse. So much worse than what I just said. But this is a sneaky one. Now, corned beef for me, I love it. It's wartime food. So if there's ever a problem, I'm sorted. Bread, corned beef, happy. This is sneakily sick if you're on the high fat and want a bit of a protein kick and want something easy to eat. Per slice of this, you got 5 grams of fat, but 9 grams of protein. Per slice of that. So easy to eat. It's just like, gone. 3 slices of that every time. You're sorted. 27 grams of protein, boom, straight away. 15 grams of fat. No good if you're on the low fat diet, but if you're on the higher fat side, these, banging. Have those with some 50-50 low carb bread, which actually, yeah. Didn't need to order any of this on this one because I have some in the freezer, but this is what I do go for on the bread side. If I don't buy gluten-free, Kingsmill 50-50 bread. Now the slices are a little bit smaller, but they toast perfectly well and they're delicious. And you can get a decent sized wallop of thick as well. Because it's smaller, you tend to pile the stuff in it that you're gonna make the sandwich out of and make a manwich. Per slice, 12 grams of carbs, so you get 2 for 24 grams of carb, which is 1, repeat that, 1 slice of normal bread, 50-50 Kingsmill. Smash. Back to the meats. Everyone's gonna be like, sodium, oh the sodium, oh the sodium. Just drink more water. It's that simple. Your body's clever, your body's smart. If you're gonna eat something with a higher sodium content, higher salt content, just drink more water alongside it. The body will regulate. It likes even keel, it likes balance. It's homeostatic by nature. Big word of the day. Not even from a toilet paper. Not just a hat rack, my friend. Back to the reason why I get the pre-packed meats is because it's simplicity. I can just, if I need something quickly, I'm in a mad dash. My life is not that scheduled. Stuff happens quickly, stuff happens regularly, and without much planning a lot of the time. So this is something I can grab, take with me, put it easily in a bag, on the go, do, easy peasy. Oh, and the protein, per 100 grams, you're gonna get 21 grams of protein and bugger all carbs and only 3 grams of fat. So they're good on an all-round one. So meaty recap, 20% fat and beef, great for making burgers, chilies, anything like that, bologneses. We've got the 7% turkey mince because it's cheap and it's effective, but it also takes the flavour well and adds a bit of flavour with that fat. We've got the eggs because I'm going to be having the yellows. If you're not, you might want to get the egg whites. Chicken, we all know chicken breast good, make many things, stir fries, cook it up, chop it up, do what you like. Oily fish, salmon, good with your eggs, getting those omega fatty acids in there. Pre-packed stuff, not the best, but awesome if you're in a rush and you're not going to be eating it every single day all the time, so fine. And then my sneaky winner is it's cheap, it's cheerful, it's corned beef, it's packed with protein, but it's loaded with fat too. If you don't want the fatties, it's no good for you, but I like it and it'll be great if there's a war. That's the meats. Let's move to the carbohydrates. Said that deliberately wrong too, just in case people think I've don't know how to say carbohydrate. I can say carbohydrate. Right, we forgot one. Avoiding the crazy halo light of doom. Oh, like Hulk Hogan. This is actually my super secret tip of the day. So these are slow cooked pork ribs in a barbecue sauce. You're like on a shred diet, in an entire pack, you shall get 50 grams of fat, 40 grams of carbs, but this is the kicker. 60 grams of protein too. Obviously, I'm not going to eat the full thing every time, but if you have half a pack, 25 grams of fat, which good, because I'm high fat, 20 grams of carb, I had it post-workout, I want those simple carbs going in to help refuel me, and then protein, boom, 30 grams for £3. Costs less than a sandwich from most service stations. I don't know how. I do not know how. But yeah, this is the kind of thing you can enjoy, especially post-workout. Secret treat. 20 minutes in the oven, wrapped, 10 minutes unwrapped, boom, done. We had it with veggie rice and it was delicious. Delicious. You're welcome. You're welcome one more time because we apparently don't get things out of the fridge when we put them in there to keep them before we film it. So we forget about them.
Probably.
Yup. Now, these are a sneaky find and they're sometimes not in stock, but these are Sainsbury's, which is our main supermarket in the UK. Be good to yourself sausages. Now, this is a similar thing to the corned beef hack, but without the fat. So if you can't do the corned beef, you can definitely do this. Per 2 sausages of this protein, 17 grams of protein in 2 sausages. That's like 8.5 grams of protein per sausage. But here's your kicker, fat, 2 grams per sausage. Yeah, and they taste like proper sausages. Because it's 8 sausages and they're like £1.80, which is sick. I think that's pretty good value for money. I think that is my top tip. So if you can find those, be good to yourself. They're classed as 50% less fat sausages. Carbohydrates. You're thinking that it's gonna be potatoes and rice. You're kinda right, but also wrong. This is my secret super hack, and you'll see upon the table, there are many of just these. That is because I have some potatoes in. Yeah, many. I also have on here some normal rice, but the reason I go ham on this is, 1, it's super simple. You bang it in the microwave, stab it a few times, it's done in 5.5 minutes. It tastes awesome every time. Here's the kicker, half the carbs of normal potato. It's black magic. We don't question it, we just accept it. This is cheesy cheddar mash, but you can also get a non-cheesy version if you don't want the fats. Check this out. So per 100, when we're normally looking at white potato, we're looking around about 27 grams of carbs per 100. These bad boys, per 100, once you find it in the extremely small writing on the back, 12.5 per 100. That means you can have 200 grams of this compared to 100 grams of normal potato. It's something to do with them being made with resistance carbs. I did know the answer. If anybody knows the reason why, comments section below. I'll also put it in the description if I find out in the meantime. The fat per 100 grams is going to be around 5. Yes, it is. It's 5.2. And we don't care about the protein because it's going to be negligible. It's 3.5 per 100, which actually isn't too shabby. But yeah, you can get it without the cheddar cheese and it'll be a way lower fat. It'll be around about 2.8 to 3 per 100, but that is absolutely banging. So I've got the cheddar version of that. I've got the normal version of that. And then this is another winner as well. If you want to add some of those micros in there, we've got the carrot swede mash. So it's a blend, carrot and swede. And this one, that's bad, isn't it? Put it on up to front, back to front. Or is that because so you can flip it and read? Nope, doesn't work. Terrible. This one, per 100 grams, again, we're looking at the carbohydrates of 12.2, so pretty much identical. But here's your winner, fat per 100, 1.5. Boom. So I got your back if you're not on the high fat train. This is a winner, winner chicken dinner, unless you're vegan. Next up, coriander and lemon couscous. Now I only recently found this and they're absolutely booming. Per 100 gram servings of these, you're looking at a standard carbohydrate dosage that rice would have of like 27. But couscous, it volumizes, it's super light, so you actually get quite a high volume compared to rice to fill the same amount of space in a bowl. So you actually end up having less carbs for a similar volume. It's ready in 5 minutes, it's super simple. So when you're caught in a rush, caught in a mad thing of, I need a side, I need something to put this with, couscous in the bag. It's about 40p a serving. That's how excited I am about that price. It's 45p actually, if I'm telling all truth. I'm pretty sure it's 45p for one of these. It's 110 grams on its own. Yeah, I reckon it'll give you a 200 and something serving. Let's see if we can work it out from the numbers on the back. This is where A-level maths comes into play. This is all those years spent doing trigonometry, Pythagoras' theorem. And it's giving you 100. Oh, there we go. So yeah, it is. It's going to provide you with about 250 grams once it's all fluffed up and puffed up. How good's that? From that one little thing of 45p. Tip top, and it's pre-flavoured, it's delicious, you cannot go wrong. Even if you're an absolute artard in the kitchen, you can't go wrong with that. You could cook the plainest, boringest chicken going, or the plainest, boringest corn, I'm not calling it sausage, I refuse it, corn tube, and chuck it in that and it would still taste great. Boom. Next up, oven chippies. Some of us like to enjoy things like this. They want to eat with the family. You could cook a load off, have 100 grams for yourself. It is 27 grams of carbohydrate. No, it's not, it's 22. Damn, I'm good. Whoo, I got the brain of a macro master. 22 grams of carbohydrate, so it's less than normal potato. It does have 5 grams of fat in there, but at least it gives you that option. If you've got kids and stuff like that who want to eat something that's a little bit naughty but really isn't, boom, there you go. Cheap, cheerful, frozen, quick, bang them in the oven. Don't need to do anything, they'll come out perfect after around about 20 to 30 minutes. We've done the rice, carbs, yeah, 30. Rice is rice. One tip for you, cook it in a hob. All you need to do, the finger trick to get the perfect rice. So, once the rice is in the pan, you put your little finger in to touch the top of the rice, and you fill it with water up to the first crease in your little finger. Perfect every time. Lid on the top, let it get to a boil, and then just let it simmer away in steam for about 20-25 minutes. Is that all the carbohydrates?
Looks like it.
We do have fruit, but we're going to include that in aptly named and professionally named other shit. Sexy moments, sexy shots of all the food that he's gonna talk about. Sexy. Other shit. Now this is going to include carbs, fats, the whole lot. It's just things that, you know, I wanted to section those two off as main basics. You can also obviously get porridge, oats and things like that. I think there's one called rice and grits, which is a little lower carb, but I don't have any of that in. I'll endeavour to get that and try it and let you know what I think. But for what I tend to do, good English Lex, I love this in the morning with yogurt and fruit and stuff like that. And it is the stuff that you hated as a kid and refused to eat because it looks like twigs. It's high fiber bran. Benefits of this, per 100 grams, you got carbohydrates. It's 54, you think, well, that's no good. But what you have to do is subtract the fiber from that, which is 22 grams. Now you only need to include 25% of the fiber content in the carb content. So if we take off 22 from the 54, that leaves us with the 32, and then we have to add on a quarter of that 22, which is going to be what? Well, 5 point something, isn't it? 5.25. So let's just round it to make it simpler. So we said we took it down to 32, add on 5. Let's call it 37, 38. 38 grams per 100 of carbohydrate that you actually have to count towards your things, which compared to most cereals, such as these, but I'll get back to why I've got these in a minute, is actually really low. And you're not going to be having 100 gram servings of it. You're going to be having like 35-ish, and that way you're going to get the fiber in as well. So it's another great way of getting that fiber boost into your diet to help keep your system flowing as it should do, help keep you satiated. So for me, that's a little trip, and I'm happy to utilize some of my carbohydrates on that. Now, super secret weapon, if you've got a sweet tooth and you like things in the morning, they're a little bit, I can mix this with this, puffed wheats. Whenever you're on a macro diet, everything's about volume. What do I get for the macros I'm using? These are an absolute killer because they're puffed wheat. They weigh bugger all. You get a wallop of a serving for very little weight value. So you get all that sweetness, and in fact you think you're eating something that you really shouldn't be, but you're not using a lot of your macros because a 30 gram serving of this, beastie. To go alongside that, you might think, hey, I bet he's not allowed anything nice. Wrong. Oh yeah. Milk. I go full fat because the wonders of the high fat diet, the fact you can enjoy things like this alongside also a cheese. I mean, you have cheese on toast in the morning with that 50-50 bread, some of this, add that, you're not even going to be able to have 3 or 4 slices, but you can have one and it's going to taste damn good. You can add that onto your corned beef 50-50 slice manwich from the wartime scenarios I was talking about before. Delicious. See, the high fat's so good. Per 100 grams, fat 27. Fine, got tons of them, baby. Not going to be having 100 grams either, going to be having like 15 to 20. Carbs, 11 in 100, which means in a 20 gram serving, all I'm going to get from that is 2 to 4 carbs. What's that? 11.6. So in 10, there's 1.16 grams. Basically, every 10 grams, you get 1 gram of carbohydrate. Boomtastic. Amazing. So these are the little tricks, and people don't think, immediately people think diet, oh, can't have this, can't have that. It's not about that. It's about what's in it and what are your targets that you're allowing yourself each day. So the moo milk, the cheese, lovely deliciousness. Obviously, we've got to be healthy whilst we're on this kick as well. So, other forms. Fruit. I got grapes. There were strawberries. Somebody ate them. They were delicious. We're actually identifying as strawberries from this point on. So if anybody asks what gender I am, strawberries. Why? Because they look good and they're delicious. Nice. Yeah, you got to be a little bit careful with your fruits, but there's no reason, absolutely zero reason you should be cutting fruits out of your diet. You still need to be healthy. This is about being healthy, long term, and enjoying things. So a little bit of grapes every now and again, you just have to weigh them. We have carbs to use. We don't have no carbs. So when I do use the carbs, I'm going to use them for something good, something healthy. Same goes for the things that you're going to add into some of those meals. You're going to peppers, courgettes, green beans, all that kind of jazz. I happen to have ordered these and some lettuce on this order because this goes in my manwiches. I like sandwiches. I'm going to have one a day probably because it's super for when I'm editing. Like I showed you before, the corned beef gives me loads of protein and fat in a really small volume. Love it. Add that with some lettuce and, again, low carb but brilliant on the vine cherry tomatoes. Last forever. So they might seem expensive. So they might seem expensive, but trust me, these things are worth it. They will sit in the fridge well over 10 days past what they say they will do. I know because I've done it every time and I still eat them. Plus, oh, forgot that. Damn it. Tuna. The chicken of the sea. Oh, these are a bad example. These are in spring water. I don't know why. That was a replacement. You can get them on the high-fat diet in the oil. And they're delicious. And you can chuck that in with your couscous and it's delicious. You can chuck it in with your mashed potato and some cherry tomato. I know you just said tuna and mashed potato. I know, sounds wrong, but you get that cheddar mash, you get a full tin of tuna, you chop in some cherry tomatoes with the tuna. Delicious. Prove me wrong, try it and let me know. So sorry, that should have been in the meats with the fishies. Sometimes it doesn't seem cost effective tuna, but actually when you weigh it up in terms of what you get, and if you buy the big like family tins that you can kind of, most people would think, well, I don't want that because I can't eat all that in one go. We're eating it all in one go. We want the proteins. Plus, you have to think of everything against cost versus how much time it saves you and ease of use. It's not like you're going to be having the tuna every day, but it means it's there in the cupboard, it's long lasting, and you can just grab it and go. So it's that quick thing. If you're in a struggle, rather than eating something you shouldn't, you can still kind of hit those macros, hit that protein, and get those targets whilst having something decent. So again, it's weighing up the cost versus how much it helps you, plus obviously the value per 100 grams. Snackies. Choom, this is just, I can't ever live without hummus. If you haven't tried hummus, can't be friends until you go and try some hummus. Red pepper one's delicious. There's another zingy lemon one which is delicious. They're about £1 a pot and they're delightful. You can have those alongside some like rye crackers and things like that. You're not going to smash your carbs and get some more fibre in there. And it's a nice little tasty thing you can also add on the side of your chicken or mix in with your couscous. Just give it those added little bits of zinginess. Per 100 grams, the fat is 16, the carbohydrates are only 11, and again, you're only going to be having like a 20 gram serving of this, so those macros are going to drop way down to being only 3 grams of fat and only 2 grams of carb. It's a banger. Hummus, winner. Oh, this is going to cause a rift. Now, are you a fruit and nutter?
I am not.
Oh dear. It's okay. Dark chocolate fruited nut. Would it turn you? Would it twist your arm to have a nibble? Have a nibble. Have a nibble. No. Here. Look at it. It's delicious. It's dark chocolate fruited nut. Why do we like the dark chocolate? Because it's usually lower carb and higher fat. Put it in your face.
Okay.
You sniff it first of all.
4/5 of your taste are in your smell.
Why is our nose not in our mouth?
You make a fair point.
100% that taste is in my mouth. They're like £1 something for a whole bar. It's a Sainsbury's own dark chocolate fruit and nut. For 4 pieces, which is an entire top strip, you're looking at 12 grams of carb, 7 grams of fat. I want those high fats, but I'm not having a full strip every time. Literally with a coffee, I'll break off 2 pieces, 3.5 grams of fat and 6 grams of carb. Damn right I will. I've got 133 grams of fat to play with and 200 carbs. I'm not going to take off 6 and 3 to enjoy that with a coffee, with espresso. You dip it in, which tastes delicious because, boom, double cream. Again, you're like, what the Lex? You're on a shred diet. What the hell are you shoving cream in your diet for? It's not just cream, it's double the cream. It's double the deliciousness. You think, well, it's going to be like 80 or 90 grams of fat per 100, you idiot. What are you doing? Just call me an idiot, did you? Because it's only 50% fat. It's only 50% fat, and I put a little wink teaspoon in there, and I've worked it out. It's 6 grams, which means 3 grams of fat. I'm only having 2 coffees a day. 6 grams of fat to add into my coffee with basically 0 carbs. You're damn straight, because it makes it delicious, it makes it enjoyable, and it's something I'm going to be able to stick to. It's all about how you spend your macros. Don't make your life harder than it needs to be. The dark chocolate fruit and nut on one side of the coffee, 2 slices, a little bit of this. Just a delightful little way to start your afternoons. Well, there's a lot of other shit. Pibs. Pibs, peanut nuts, butter, peanut nuts, nuts.
Peanut nut?
The nutty nuts in the peanut nut. Do you not know about the nut with the peanut nut?
I heard about the wood
Oh,
chocolate.
you must be nuts if you've not heard about the nut with the peanut nut. This is the one to go for. It's a 0 palm oil. It's delicious. You can actually see the oil on the top, so you just stir it in there. And it's just really organic and... Yeah, man, sorry, I was just checking my nipple mic. Sometimes it spins when I get overexcited. Not the nipple, the mic. Pibs! Put that into shakes and stuff like that when I need it. If I want those fat boosts, it's really good for that. Also, the top tip of something I haven't showed you. I got this. No added sugar. Yeah, no added sugar. Dark chocolate. Per 2 pieces, fat 8.5, carbs 7, but they're not because it's polyols, so don't eat too many of them or you be on the toilet and not in the fun way, not like a morning dump where you're loving it. It's more of an exploding apple. I don't know why. Just imagine an apple going. It's better than talking about explosive diet.
I was thinking more like a chocolate yazoo.
Oh, don't ruin your zoos. Why would you do that?
No.
No. No. And as if by magic, I have next to me the coffee that I have to enjoy the coffee. Oh, by the way, yeah, this, you're only having 1 square at a time. So what I'll have is 1 square of that with some peanut butter on the top. And I'll have that before I go training often because the high cocoa content, anti-fatigue, and peanut butter, anti-not-deliciousness. Because it's delicious. This is my coffee. Everyone asks me what I have. This is the one I go for. It's the Law. It's how you say it. Coffee, and it's from Aldi, and it's half the price of Nespresso's, and just as tasty. Cherries and berries. If you ain't drinking cherries and berries, you ain't cool. Because cherries and berries is the coolest. But not being serious. If you don't drink this, you're not my friend. It's delicious, and if you don't like it, you're wrong. Because it's made with 20% real fruits and there's no added sugar in it, which means per carbohydrate 100 mil, complete wrong way of saying that, it's only 0.5. You can drink mountains of it during the day and you end up using like 3 carbs. Cherries and berries. If you buy Ribena, I'll hit you. I'm so serious. Because I'm a Vimmers man mainly. Because Bina can suck it when Vimmers is in town. No added sugar Vimmers. Don't drink that. This every day. This, like guests who aren't allowed this because it's delicious or I'm running low. Long life milk is there, but that's just because in case I run out of the other milk, so it's the same. It's just whole milk. This. I was talking about yogurt in the morning. Talking about things for in the morning to have with your breakfasts. This is the go-to one, especially if you are in that higher fat kick, because per 100 grams, 9 grams of fat, carbohydrates only 5.3. If you're on the lower fats, higher carb side of things, I still think this is worth it because it's really creamy. You don't use a lot of it, and it's delicious to mix with fruits. That Fiber brand. Here's a real tasty treat as well. Get frozen fruits. Frozen fruits. Fritz. Frozen Fritz. Fritz. What's that from? Fritz. Name it. Comment section if you know what it is. Let's see where Fritz. Frozen fruits in that, mixed in. A little bit of drizzle of honey on the top. I tend to use this as a mediator. It always gets mixed in with something else. You can actually buy high protein yogurts like Arla and stuff like that. Mix it half and half with this. Actually makes those taste decent. Shabinky boy. He saw me make eggs. They were delicious. Yes, they were, because I added cottage cheese into the mix. In your eggs. You're like, what? Are you crazy? You damn straight. You simply cook the eggs off to a certain point, so as they start to kind of form a little bit of a solid feel to them, not done, just like they go from that liquid and start to turn, then you bang in a tablespoon of this cottage cheese. It's going to do 2 things: volumize and add a boatload of protein, and it's got a little bit of that cheesy taste to it as well. So cheap, cheerful, and plus on the other side you can also use it on top of crackers mixed in with other things, so you can actually eat it if you do like the taste of cottage cheese on its own. It is a good one to have in there. If you're on the low fat side, you can obviously get low fat cottage cheese, but I would say if you put that in your eggs, you're going to get some liquid runoff that you're going to need to pour off, which isn't the best, but just be aware. Last but not least, it's the Highland Spring. Oh, that's the wrong one, hang on. It's the Highland. No, wrong one. Did you? Very, very good Highland water. No, wrong one. Okay, the new Highland spring water. Oh, it's delicious. It's actually really nice, and it's £3.50 for all the bottles. Now, the reason I get this because people are like, you've got tap water. There's water in the taps. There's nothing wrong with it. You turn the tap, water comes out, not poop. So I drink the water that comes out of the tap. That's not a poop tap, and I do that with cherries and berries. Cherries and berries. All right, Bina. Reason I have this so I can take it to the gym. Take it to the gym. I chuck an electrolyte in there with it, and it's easy and it's effective. Plus, I will refill this with tap water and cherries and berries. Then it keeps me looking at how much I've actually drunk during the day. If I just have water in like a glass, with cherries and berries, I tend to not know how many glasses I've drunk, and I tend to gulp it a little bit more rather than sip the water and cherries and berries that I would otherwise by refilling these. So I actually do refill them, and then I recycle the plastic because I'm a good human being. I don't want the polar bears to die along with the orangutans and no palm oil in the peanut butter. So there you go. I hope that's giving you some ideas, and we're gonna go and take some of the milk and have a brew because we're British and that's what we do. Any questions, smack them in the comment section below. This has been a Shredded with a Life episode. There will be more of these full food hauls. If you want to see something specific, let me know. If you've got any questions, let me know. We're going to do some hacks, some tricks, some foods. My favourite protein pudding. Some sneaky things you can do with a freezer and whipped cream. And I ain't talking about just in the bedroom. Catch you in the next episode. Boom, baby. So inappropriate. So inappropriate.